back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to you. Going to be reading for the lovely star sign of Pisces. So my lovely Pisces, what have we got this week? Well, as you can see here, a little bit different, and I'll tell you the quick story about it. This week I was doing some tidying out and I came across some old albums that I bought back in the 80s, okay? It was a collection that was bought out by Marks and Spencer's, if I remember correctly. And it was the country diary of an Edwardian lady. They brought out the book, they brought out these lovely photo albums, they brought out everything you can imagine, cups and duvet covers and curtains and a lot of other things. If you do remember that era and you do have any of this collection, I would be grateful if you could just drop some comments, okay? Because it would be nice to know if anybody else sort of collected this themed, the country diary of an Edwardian lady. So with that said and done, what I decided to do was sit quietly. I pulled out 15 cards and I've placed them in this album. So we're basically reading a story for you this week, okay? I haven't sort of preempted the story or anything. I just place the cards in there, and as I normally do, we just work with spirit and the story develops. So I'm just going to move your card out the way, Pisces, give me a little bit more room, and we'll start your story for this week. So if you are sitting comfortably, we will begin. So my lovely Pisces, let's undo the ribbon. I put these little cards on in places just to jazz it up a little bit. I love fairy art, and I did acquire these lovely postcards. So Pisces, let's start and open up your storybook for this week, okay? And the first tarot card that came out for you was this beautiful card of heat. Okay, and I was thinking of that song when I looked at this. Eddie Murphy, what's the name of the film? Beverly Hills Cop, wasn't it? The heat is on. And I was thinking of that song, The Heat Is On. And this is what I feel for some of you. Some of you may feel pressured at the moment, as though the heat is on for deadlines or trying to get something completed. And also on the other side of the coin, the heat is on regarding passions, things you want to do, or passions where it's to do with a relationship, maybe a full-on sort of like passions have ignited between two people, okay? Like you've taken it to the next level. So we've got a few sort of scenarios going on here, but it's all about action, all about the heat is on, and things need to be sorted out, acted upon, okay? So the next card that comes out for you is the door to romance. So having the heat card, okay, and followed on by the door to romance, it can mean exactly that. Somebody is sort of trying to unlock your heart, or you are trying to unlock somebody's heart, okay? There's this smitten kind of energy, and we are coming towards the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. So there is love is in the air, do, 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 do. Okay, so love is in the air for Pisces, okay? And it's sort of saying as well, let love in. Okay, let love in. There was a song by the Goo Goo Dolls, and I will drop that in for you guys in the description box below. Let Love In by the Goo Goo Dolls. And this is another sort of aspect. If it's not romantically minded, obviously not everybody's going to be, you know, meeting somebody new and what have you, then I just feel that the overall general message for the door to romance is let love back into your life. You could have been a bit cold of late towards your loved ones, your family and your friends, where you've locked yourself away, maybe because of health reasons. You didn't want to engage with the outside world, and it's sort of saying, look, you know, start to love the world again as well. Okay, start to love the world again, the world around you. Next card that we've got coming out here is the card of Between Worlds. And it is exactly how this card looks. You do feel sort of one day you can be in the reality, okay, and face the world and face the music and face people. And then and the day after that, it's as though, just leave me alone, let me close the doors and let me be away from the world outside. So you're struggling really. I feel I've got some Pisces here struggling between worlds, between the reality, the here and now. And obviously that's not going to resonate with everybody, but I do feel that some of my Pisces out there are struggling with this energy and also putting a brave face on. Okay, so this is like your home environment, and then you step out into the outside world and have to put this bravado on. I've got this under control. So there's struggles going on here with your inner psyche and just the day to day, okay? Feeling at odds. I look at this number 3 as an odd number. There's something where you are feeling at odds with at the moment. We then have the animal spirit cards coming out for you next, and we've got the elephant and the butterfly. The elephant is the alchemical sign of fire and the butterfly is the alchemical sign of air. The elephant is a very strong character, okay, very forceful. So there's this forceful energy coming in with passion. The fire element, the heat element again is coming in here. And changes are coming in quickly. We've got the butterfly with the air sign, and air is about communication and it's also about transformation. So there's changes coming in around you at the moment. As I said, it could be on the romantic side of things where somebody holds a torch for you basically, and communication is going to come in for some of you on the romantic side of somebody sort of wanting to show their feelings and affections for you. However, on the general side of things, it's a fast transformation here, saying you're getting your strength back for those of you who haven't been very well of late, and feeling a more sense of less burdened. Okay, butterflies are quite delicate, fragile sort of creatures, and it sort of highlights how vulnerable and fragile you have felt of late. But just to know that the strength of the elephant is now coming in for you to say that you can face your fears, you can face whatever is going to be coming up in the next 2 to 3 weeks. There is a big change coming in for you, Pisces, okay? We then have the card of the Camel Boy. Okay, it's the first time I've ever had this card out, and it's come out for you, Pisces, and it says small steps, asking for help. So as I said, I felt some of my Pisces were struggling at the moment, and if so, you do need assistance, you do need to ask for help on something. Don't be stubborn, okay? And don't think that, you know, everything can right itself overnight. It's all about small steps. You've got what it takes within you to cross the finishing line, to make that distance. Like a camel is sort of a self-sustained animal where he can walk many, many miles, okay? And this is what it's saying to you. Small steps and asking for help will get you to the end of this road. I also want to go with the camel's hump here, as in sometimes you can be a bit of a prickly pear, and you take the hump, or you have taken the hump about what somebody has said to you of late, okay? So take that as you will. But I do feel somebody's rubbed you up the wrong way. Okay, but for the majority of you, I just think it's about small steps in a certain area of your life at this moment in time, and also asking for the help that you need in trying to sort an issue out. Okay, we then have the beautiful card of listening. But I feel this is sort of a message to yourself, as in, are you listening to what your inner self, your conscience is telling you? Okay, sometimes we can ignore our little inner voices, and half the time these inner voices that we do hear, you know, they are right in what they're trying to instruct us to do. So there's something about listening, okay? Listening to what your body is telling you, maybe. Listening to what somebody else might be saying as well around you, that you need to pick up on some information this week of importance. It's like keep your ears to the ground. There's some important information that you need to be privy to, okay? Or you might just be in the right place at the right time and overhear a conversation, and whatever you pick up there, it'll sort of prick your interest on something. So listening is key this week for you whenever you are sort of tuning into this reading, okay? We then have the King of Water, and this is basically your whole energy at the moment. Water is attached to emotions, and there's a lot of things that you are dealing with that is affecting you emotionally. There could be issues around yourself personally, where you don't feel very well, and on an emotional level you're struggling a little bit and feeling out of your depth on a certain issue. It can also mean, for those regarding the romantic side of things, you may feel out of your depth on a relationship, thinking this person is, you know, way out of my league type of energy. You're emotionally caught up here thinking you're not good enough for this person, some of you, where you need to test the waters. That's what I want to say. They're telling me you need to test the waters. Don't be shy. And what have you got to lose? Okay, just be open and honest with yourself and go for it, because obviously how are you going to know unless you test the waters with this person that I feel some of you may have an attraction, or I feel vice versa. There could be somebody around you at the moment who you might be aware of on a friendship basis, but just to listen to those signs and signals that it could be a little bit more than what it is portraying at this moment in time. We then have the beautiful cards of the King of Pentacles and Moon Dance. Now, this is sort of taking a risk and a gamble on a sort of money-making scheme. Some of you could be investing in crypto maybe, or thinking about investing into stocks and shares or bonds. And it's, do I take the risk here? Do I walk that line and take that risk? Okay. But by looking at the King of Pentacles here, whatever you are thinking of putting your money into or taking a risk and a gamble on, taking, you know, that risk and walking out on that wire, okay, takes courage, but it will pay off in the end. I just feel that there's some of you there contemplating, it might be that you've already put money in bonds or you've put money into crypto and thinking, because everything is falling down at the moment in the prices, do I pull it out? Do I pull it out? Okay, do I just leave it there? And my advice would be to just ride the storm and take that risk and leave well alone, because at the end of the day, those investments will pay off for you in the long run. We also have, actually, before they're just telling me this is how spirit work. I've just got to go back to this, because on the romantic side of things, because we have had romantic elements in this reading, this person who is coming into your life or you will be attracted to, I feel they are financially sound, okay? So that, you know, they are very independent, okay? They have money around them and they are going to take a risk. This is a big step for them. I feel they haven't been in a relationship for quite some time, but they wanted me to come back to that card just to give you some idea of the person we are talking about who is romantically attracted to you, okay? Or you are attracted to this person, and I'm just giving you that this person is a stable person. They are very independent and financially sound, okay? So we'll go on to this card, which is shield your energy, look beneath the surface, okay? Reserve your energy, really. I think it's about protecting your health in some instances, and it's also about adaptability. Frogs can live both in the water and on land, and so being the amphibians, it's just sort of saying to yourself, you know, that there's a situation around you where you need to be adaptable in the near future. And also shield your energy, as in don't burn yourself out, okay? Some of you may be doing too much or burning the candle at both ends. And also look beneath the surface, and this could also be tagging in on that romantic side of things. Don't take somebody for face value, okay? Sometimes, you know, they say beauty is skin deep, and look beneath the surface of a person, or somebody could be looking at you and liking what they see in your personality, or vice versa, okay? I also feel that's to do with a situation around you where you may be told some information. Somebody's giving you some information, and I want to say don't take it for face value. Do some digging, because I don't feel what they're telling you is the truth. So you have to look beneath the surface and find the truth, okay, on a certain issue around you this week. We then have the Mother Awakens, compassion, nurture and guidance. A beautiful card as well of sort of harnessing your energy. I feel Pisces has been in sleepy land, okay, for a while, and I say sleepy land as in being not lazy, but that I don't care kind of attitude of late. Maybe because of your health, because we've got green in this card and I work with colours. And the Mother Awakens, I feel this is like your inner soul is now starting to wake up, and your energy levels are starting to rise and project outwards, okay, because it's showing a rainbow here. These are stone figures, and I feel the stone figures represent how you have felt of late. Just haven't wanted to go out, haven't wanted to socialise much, sort of retreated back to your home environment. But the awakening here is you're starting to get your strength back, you're starting to get your interests and hobbies back, okay? So it's an awakening in that sense for you, my lovely Pisces. And it's also the awakening of allowing that, you know, let love in. What I mentioned at the start of this reading. Let love come back into your soul. I also, when I look at these statues, it's as though either you or someone around you, you haven't spoken to one another. There's been an argument in the past, and words, you know, you haven't spoken to each other. You're both stubborn, and I do feel there's an awakening here of an apology in the sort of mix coming in, where you may come back onto speaking terms. Again, that's not going to resonate for all of you, but I do feel there's been silence between two people, and that silence is going to be broken, and sorries will be said, and friendships will be repaired there. Again, that's not going to resonate for all of you, but I do feel for some of my Pisces. We then have the fairy oracles coming out, and we've got Ivy and the fairy of hummingbird dreams. Beautiful cards. The ivy is about cutting back the ivy on yourself. The fairy called Ivy here is saying exactly that. You've allowed things to overgrow personally, okay? And it's time to trim back the ivy on yourself. Hence the awakening card previously to turning this page. Green again is to do with health, but I feel this is about your health is starting to improve, because we have the hummingbird dreams fairy here. And in this scenario, the hummingbird dreams, birds are always associated with me as communication. So there's some important information that is going to come to your notice, and it is going to make you sit up and listen a little bit. And I do feel it's good news coming in. There's some good news going to be coming in around you, that this fairy brings in for you. It could have been some information that you've been waiting to hear on for quite some time. So there's a good resolution coming in here for your Pisces, on those who have been waiting for some kind of important news. Then the last card from Spirit, we have, you can have a partner you love, but don't forget all the other loves, such as friends, family, pets, and so on. And how apt for Spirit to bring that card out when we had Let Love In, as I called it, the door of romance at the start of the reading. Like to say, I feel some of you have blocked that out, and it's saying, you know, don't forget that. Spirit is saying don't forget your friends, family, pets, and so on, to engage with those, to give those love, because they are aware here that you've gone through this very tough period and didn't want to engage, just wanted to shut yourself off, being in between those two worlds, as I mentioned at the start of this reading. So I hope you can take something from this beautiful story that has come out in the reading for you this week. Now then, guys, there was a lady in Ireland who won one of my giveaways in December, and she sent me a lovely little thank you booklet that had 12 bookmarks in, with some little poetic words and pictures. So I have took those bookmarks out, okay, and I am going to shuffle them and just see what comes out for you in these little sort of bookmarks, okay. So let's have a look what comes out for, I feel like I'm drawn to that one for you. They're a bit hard to read, these. One, because of the way it's been printed, but it's done in old traditional language, so bear with me, okay, because I haven't read any of them, and as I've come to do these readings, I have struggled a little bit, so just bear with me. So for you, we've got, it's all I have to bring today, this and my head beside, okay? It's all I have to bring today, this and my head beside. So it continues on the back though, guys. This and my head and all the fields and all the meadows wide. Be sure you count, should I forget, some one the sum could tell. This and my head and all the bees which in the clover dwell. So I'll just read that again, okay? It's all I have to bring today, this and my head beside, this and my head and all the fields and all the meadows wide. Be sure you count, should I forget, someone the sum could tell, this and my head and all the bees which in the clover dwell. She had a very strange way of writing, this lady, as I've sort of uncovered as I've gone through some of these bookmarks as I've been doing the readings. But I sort of try and read between the lines, okay? And for you, Pisces, when it says this is all I have to bring today, this is, I feel like, your energy. As in, you know what, I've only got the energy to do, you know, to bring this to you today. I've only got the energy sort of to do these certain tasks. And you've sort of said, just remind me if I forget. It's that kind of energy that is sort of, I'm reading between the lines here. And it's all about those taking small steps, if we remember the cards in the storybook, just. And I've just looked at this poem again, and like I said, this is very difficult to read. Okay, I'm just going to hold this up to here to decipher some of these words on these little bookmarks. And I'm here saying, it's all I have to bring today, this and my head, I said, but it's my heart. But I had to say head for you, because I feel this is where you're struggling within your head space. Okay, you can't think straight. I feel some of you may be suffering with head pressure or headaches even. So I'm going to read this poem again. Now I know that the word isn't head but heart. But for you, Pisces, I do feel it's all manifesting in the head space for some of you. That is why I had to say it incorrectly. So we've got, it's all I have to bring today, this and my heart beside. This and my heart and all the fields and all the meadows wide. Be sure you count, should I forget. Someone the sun could tell. This and my head and all the bees which in the clover dwell. So yeah, some of these cards are very hard to read and understand, but reading in between the lines, it does say this and my heart beside. But I feel for you, Pisces, I want to say it's all I have to bring today, this in my head beside, as in you're struggling mentally with things at the moment where your mind is on overload. And when it mentions about the bees, I always associate like busy bees, and I feel some of you could be overtaxing your brains as well. And then we've got the romantic side of things, as in this is all I could bring today, this and my heart beside. Like to say, this is this reluctancy I felt with testing the waters. Okay, this is as much as my heart could sort of accept today, or try or bring to a romantic situation. So take that as you will, my lovelies. But the actual artwork on the front of this is beautiful. It shows a lovely sort of peaceful environment. And I feel I want to say to you, get yourself out into nature when you can, just to clear that headspace that some of you may be suffering at the moment, and get some clarity if it is regarding this relationship as well. So my lovely Pisces, I hope you can take something from that. Don't forget to check out your moon and rising signs. Any comments if any of you have got this collection of the Country Diaries of the Edwardian Lady. And until next time, you take care of yourself. Bye then.